Welcome back to WMMA5. Strickland versus Fluffy. That is the event we have today. It is also the event that is happening this upcoming Saturday. I've got Fluffy. It's going to be a hard-ass fight, but I've got Fluffy. I think everyone is picking Strickland, but I'm going to have to go with Hernandez. Regardless, that's the event we're going to be simming through as well. So it'll be interesting, at least just the co-main. That is... The rest of the card is going to differ from the rest of the real life card. Regardless, I said I'd go through the rest of the upcoming shows that I have booked and then go through the rankings as well. And then we'll jump into UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Fluffy Anthony Hernandez. Here we go with the Strickland Hernandez card. Right ahead of you, you got Strickland Hernandez as the main event. Dan Ige versus Melky Costa. As the co-main, which is happening in real life. Sergey Spivak versus Ante Delija, which is also happening in real life. Jacoby Smith versus Court McGee. That is not happening. Jacoby Smith is on the card, though. Zachary Reese, Michel Pereira. That is a real fight happening this weekend. It's a real thing. Bay Sanger. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name. Versus Keenan Song. I'm pretty sure this guy is cracked. He's young. Any sim I've done, I've tried to get him. He's a good prospect. So we're going to try to push him up slowly, or depending how he does, we'll try to push him up. His nickname is Baki, so shout out to all my Baki bros out there. Bay Sanger, he is a banger. Okay, he's a good prospect. So rounding out the main card, here are the prelims. If you want to pause, read it. I'm not going to go through every single fucking prelim, especially on a fight night. Next up, we got Brandon Moreno versus Asu Almabayev. That fight was supposed to happen in real life. Almabayev obviously pulled out. We got Marlon Vera versus David Martinez. Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. Ian Kutalaba versus Umar Sai. Rinya Nakamura, Miles Johns. You get the picture. You can read as well. We also have a sneaky. We got Loner Kavanaugh on this card, man. Hey. I booked this before Loner took the fight in real life. Just know, okay? Just know. And then here's the undercard. Read it, pause it, whatever you want to do with it. We got Harry Hardwick on the card. Elijah Smith, Chris Moutinho, the human punching bag. Next up, UFC 326 for the BMF belt. We got Oliveira versus Max Holloway. This is co-mained with another championship fight. We got Mackenzie Dern versus Sika Izawa. She is coming over from, I want to say, 1. She is 18-0, never lost. Ryzen. But she's cracked, man. Look at this. Submission, TKO. Like, she's her. Don't get it twisted. I mean, Mackenzie Dern got her hands full. She's taking a huge step up. Strawweight is shallow. I mean, realistically, who are you going to fucking throw there? So we added some talent. You got Dern versus Izawa as the co-main event. Then you got Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer as the featured fight. Instead of a fight night, we bumped this up to the featured fight on UFC 326, followed by Kyle Baralho and RDR. And then Renato Moicano versus Brian Ortega. So obviously Ortega and Renato were supposed to fight in real life. Ortega pulled out. Baralho and RDR are fighting in real life on this card. It's looking like it's going to be the co-main. So, I mean, hopefully I kind of cooked. I mean, you can maybe bump it up over Israel Adesanya, but I feel like you got to show Izzy some respect as a former champion, one of the greatest of all time. Here is the prelims for UFC 326. We got Grasso Barber, Robocop, and Ferreira. Cody Garbrandt versus Malcolm Wallmaker. That's a banger fight. I cooked there. Hold up. And then you can read the rest or pause the video. Moving on. UFC Fight Island. So another thing with this series, what I want to do is implement alternate or other, kind of type of shows. So this is just a regular fight night, but we're going to call it UFC Fight Island. Every single Fight Island, I want to do 4 a year, one per, every 4 months or so. So you got winter, spring, summer, fall. A UFC Fight Island, which the whole goal is, 1, it's actually on a fucking island. It's in Hawaii we have this booked for. And 2, all the fights are just going to try to be fucking bangers and badass. I know we stacked this with some crazy, we got a little lightweight run going on right now, but I want the main goal of the Fight Islands is just pure violence. It's literally just UFC pure violence. UFC, whether that's knockouts, TKOs, submissions, whatever. You want to finish on this card, all right? These are meant for entertainment. Obviously, it's all fights are fucking meant for entertainment, but like this is for like the not the shock value. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. But like these are the badass, as Dana White would say, these are the badass fight nights. All right, you want to tune into these. You obviously must have read it as I'm been yapping. And here are the prelims: John Lineker, Hyder Emil, just a fucking blockhead war. Abdul Malik, a crazy prospect. Sadabu Sai, pause it, read it. Stephen Asplin versus everyone's fucking favorite bar brawler, Louis Sutherland. Oh my days, Louis Sutherland. Quite the heavyweight prospect. But regardless, we got our first UFC Fight Island. Hopefully you guys get the picture. Just supposed to be straight fucking bangers, just wars. Just pure chaos. Okay? Next up, we got UFC 327 in Japan. If you don't know, down here is where the events are taking place. So this, Hawaii, California. But Prohaska, UFC 327, we got, yes, if you can read this correctly, this is not for a interim light heavyweight title. This is for the vacant light heavyweight title. We moved Alex Pereira up to heavyweight. Alex Pereira is now fighting at heavyweight, and I'll talk about what the plans are for heavyweight in just a second. But Yuri versus Olberg in Japan for the vacant light heavyweight belt. That is pure fucking cinema. And then following that as the co-main, you got Joshua Van versus Manel Kape. Please tell me did I not cook here? In Japan, Yuri from Ryzen. Manel Kape, a huge star in Japan. Joshua Van, a banger fucking flyweight fight. And then following that, you got Tatsuro Taira from Japan versus Kai Kara France. If Taira wins this, he's getting a title fight. And if not, guess what? We got Horiguchi right there in the mix. Flyweight's looking good. We got bangers on bangers. Following that up, we got Amir Alblasi, or not Amir, same fucking person. Eamon Zahabi versus Peyton Talbot. We got Agent Talbot in there to slime fucking Zahabi out. If he loses, don't go to school tomorrow. Next, we got Umar Kane versus Anatoly Malikin. If you're not familiar with these two, these are two of the biggest heavyweights outside of the UFC, as in star power or stardom, I guess. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Not literally biggest, but Rug, otherwise known as Umar Kane, versus Anatoly Malikin. His only loss is to Umar Kane, a.k.a. Rug. Yeah, he's just been dominating one. He's the guy who beat RDR twice. Absolutely fucking juiced to the gills. So we got a badass heavyweight fight opening up the main card in Japan because they were fighting in one before this. See, look at all this little history, okay? We threw Talbot on the card. Hold up. We threw Talbot on the card because he is a known huge anime fan. Come on now. Here are the prelims. Roma Dolidze, Christian Lee. If you're not familiar with Christian Lee, he is a former one champion until we took him. Just look at the fucking absolute run this bloke was on. Followed by a bunch of Japanese/Asian fighters. If you want to pause the video, be my guest. I cooked this main card. I forgot I cooked this. I made these a while ago, but I kind of cooked on that. Next up, for the last thing we have booked, there might be, as you can see down here too, week 4, February, March, week 3, April. So we got about a month difference. We will be adding fight nights periodically. I think maybe, I don't know, every 4 fights or every month or so, maybe I'll go and preview the upcoming cards or events. So like the fight nights I make into this, I don't think I'll preview. You'll just get a surprise fucking video on what it is. Okay? Regardless, UFC 328, the card, I just lost my train of thought. Regardless, we got Aspinall versus John Jones. Yes, I know. You guys have been fucking reading that, waiting for it. We brought John Jones back out of retirement. Fuck arthritis. He is going to fight Tom Aspinall for the belt. We are making his ass fight Tom Aspinall for the fucking heavyweight belt. We got a fucking badass, and it's in London, all right? Everything is against John Jones. If he wins, once again, don't come to fucking school tomorrow, all right? Aspinall versus Jones, the fight everyone's been wanting. Finally, we can fucking book this. Next up, we got another title fight, women's flyweight, Valentina Shevchenko versus the best women's fighter that's not in the UFC, Dakota Decheva, from the PFL. If you're not familiar, all right? Not trying to be some fucking nerd-ass hardcore, but she is probably the best prospect. She is the best women's prospect not in the UFC, and she might be one of the best. If you put her in the UFC currently, she might be one of the only people outside the UFC that could win the belt in like her first fight in the UFC. Regardless, she is also, her hometown is based in Manchester, England, or from Manchester, England. So we got two UK fighters as the main event and the co-main. We got Volkov versus another one. Yes, you can read it. Francis Ngannou is back into the UFC, baby. Okay, this was my plan. You do Aspinall versus Jones. All right, this is like, you could just set up a fucking heavyweight tournament between Aspinall, Jones, Ngannou, and Pereira. Like, that in itself would be fucking cinema. But I think, you got Aspinall, Jones, barring a fucking pullout. You got Ngannou, Volkov. Barring Volkov gets a crazy-ass upset, all right? And then we're going to book Cyril Gane versus Pereira. That's the next heavyweight fight. So based on who does better or how the fights play out between Ngannou, Volkov, and Pereira and Gane, whoever does better is going to fight either Jones or Aspinall for the belt. And then maybe... say Pereira fights for the belt and Ngannou sits out. He didn't have as good of a performance. He can fight, one or two more guys. It's heavyweight. It's fucking shallow. Boom, here you go. We can mix and match. We want to see Jones versus Ngannou. We want to see Aspinall versus Ngannou. We want to see Pereira versus Aspinall, Pereira versus Jones. There's so many things. Even if it's not for the belt, there's so many things we could do. Slap these motherfuckers on the co-main. Cinema. All right? It's heavyweight. This is perfect, man. If only this shit was real life. Having these four in heavyweight would be insane, but everyone obviously ducks each other. Tom Aspinall and Pereira are the only two, I guess, 2 out of the 4 that don't duck anybody. I don't care. You can say what you want about Pereira. He got the smoke back with Ankalaev. He did duck him for a little bit, okay? But regardless, Aspinall isn't ducking anyone. Pereira, he's not ducking anybody. Okay, enough of the yap. That's kind of how heavyweight's playing out. Badass fights, all right? Leon Edwards versus Joaquin Buckley, a fight that probably should happen in real life. We are all rooting for Buckley in this fight. Leon Edwards, obviously from the UK. Following that up with the first fight of the night, Joel Alvarez versus Michael Venom Page, a fight that people thought was going to happen in real life. But MVP got booked up with Sam Patterson, a different London fighter. Regardless, that's another win-win. You can just bump up Michael Page or Joel Alvarez. Joel, holy shit. Alvarez. Crazy prospect. He's moving up into welterweight for his first welterweight fight. Next up, here are the prelims. I guess someone must have pulled out as I was simming. Rosenstrike. I can check that after this real quick. Rosenstrike versus a TBA. Fabian Edwards versus Brian Battle. Fabian Edwards is Leon Edwards' younger brother, I want to say, and he is a PFL champion versus Brian Battle. Giga Chikadze, Nathaniel Wood. Patchy Mix is back in the UFC versus Oh My Fucking Days, Davey Grant. That's low-key a banger-ass fight, man. Cub Swanson, Luke Riley as Patty Pimblett's training partner. He's a good prospect. Regina Taran, she's a crazy prospect in these sims. Good prospect in real life. I think she's a boxer. I'm not sure. She might be a mixed martial artist or MMA, but I know she's primarily a boxer. Molly McCann's back out of retirement. Thomas Peterson. You get the picture. So those are the fights that we have upcoming. Okay, yep. So someone pulled out. We'll just do this real quick. Who was he? Here we go. It was Linton Vassell, PFL fighter. So, who should we book him up against? Okay, should we do that real quick? Let's just do that real quick. All right, let's see. You're witnessing fucking matchmaking in real time. All right. He's ranked 21. Who do we want? Mick Parkin? We just replace him with another guy from London? Here we go. Easy money. No one really gives a fuck about that one. All right, maybe we can even bump it down because it's Mick Parkin. All right, easy money. Next up, we got the rankings. These are after UFC Fight Night, Bautista versus Oliveira. They're updated, as you see. Ryan fucking blob-ass Span is new in the rankings, ranked number 20. Anyone that's blue, if you don't know this game, blue is recuperating. Red means they have a fight scheduled. So, Aspinall is ranked 1. Cyril Gane is ranked number 2. Volkov, Ngannou, Pavlovich, Blades, Jones, Derek Lewis, Almeida. Pereira is not ranked because he hasn't had a fight yet. Light heavyweight, Big Ank is number 1. Yuri, Oberg, Khalil, Jan, Azamat, Hill, Volkov, or Volkan. Hamzat's obviously the champ. DDP, Imavov. If you guys want to pause, whatever, I'm just going to kind of skim through. This already kind of went a little bit longer than I anticipated. 20 minutes before we even get into the fight card. Here's welterweight. Not a whole lot going on there. Lightweight, featherweight. Vallejos jumped into the top 10. We like to see that. Maybe him versus Lerone Murphy. That might be a good fight. Maybe him at Arnold Allen. Bantamweight. Oliveira jumps in at number 10. Bautista falls to 14. Flyweight. Horiguchi number 8. And then here is the women's divisions. If you do care about that, you can pause or go back. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's jump into this. We got Fluffy Hernandez versus Sean Strickland. UFC Fight Night. They are all picking Fluffy Hernandez. 7-0. 7 for Dan. Ige. None for Milky. All 7 for Spivak. Wow, okay. So everyone's got their favorites. Sergey Spivak. Okay. Another all 7. I mean, this one should be obvious. Jacoby Smith, a crazy prospect. And all 7 for Michelle Pereira, which is insane. And all 7 for Baki. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's so... Every single one is so lopsided. All right. Timothy Kwamba versus the GOAT, Curtis Campbell. I mean, how do you not pick Curtis Campbell? Exactly. I mean, how do you not pick Curtis Campbell? All right. He gets it done via unanimous decision. He asked who he'd like to face next, and he calls out William Gomez, saying he's going to kick his ass. All right, Bear. Okay. Goddamn. Jocelyn Edwards versus Nora Cornell. A fight that's actually happening this weekend. And Jocelyn Edwards is on a sneaky run with TKO in round 1. I mean, not that we really care, but 4 straight finishes, 3 straight TKOs in a women's. It's kind of cracked, man. Jocelyn Edwards, she's coming for the belt. Jacqueline Cavalcanti would be a good contest. Okay. Next up, Austin Vanderford versus Jean-Paul. Vanderford known for, I'm pretty sure he's the one who's like, I fight like a, yeah, I'm not going to say the word, but regardless, Jean-Paul gets the victory via a Kimura in round 3. The fight was rated as fantastic. Vanderford gets all 4 takedowns, lands 0 standing punches, 0 standing kicks, 0 standing knees. Okay. Jean-Paul gets it done via Kimura, round 3. Sorry, everyone's fucking calling me real quick. He answers Boris Medvedev. Holy shit, I don't know. Maybe I call me a casual. Okay, next up, Louis Gurel versus Eldon Correa. Okay, another. Eldon Correa, huge favorite, minus a 1050, gets it done via submission, arm triangle, round 3. Fight was rated as great. He shows respects. Next up, we got the blockheaded GOAT himself, Steve from Minecraft, Ethan Ewing versus Bekzat Almakhan. And Bekzat Almakhan gets the victory via TKO. He was expected to win. He was the favorite at a minus 330, which is pretty big. I mean, if you notice one thing about this game, the favorites and the underdogs, it's very lopsided. It's very hard to make like evenly matched matchups, even if they're like in real life similar to where they are. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Anyways, moving on. Amakayev praises for a tough fight. Odie Osborne versus Alibi Idris. It's a pick'em. Odie Osborne, I guess, is more of the favorite, but he loses. The fight was rated as poor. We had eight strikes from Osborne. Wow, that's pretty pathetic, man. That's cut-worthy. Gunnar Nelson versus Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal is the favorite in this one, and Carlos Leal gets it done via TKO strikes in round 1. Fight was rated as good. He would like to fight Cedric Doumbé. I mean, it's kind of an interesting call-out. First fight of the main card. Baki by Sanger Shamsudinov versus Keenan the Assassin Song. Baki is expected to win. It would be a huge, massive upset if he loses, and it would kind of derail the hype train. But he gets it done via a rear naked choke, round 1 in 1 minute and 46 seconds. That's what we like to see from our prospects. Baki gets it done, and he calls out Renat Fakhretdinov. You know, that's a fight I could see happening. Okay, we could make something happen. Next up, we got Michel Pereira versus Zachary Savage Reese. The game is taking a little bit. Oh God, here we go. And Michel Pereira gets it done via TKO, strikes round 1 in 1 minute. Wow, okay, so Michel Pereira back in the win column. I mean, if he's going to win in real life, that's what he's going to have to do after a 3-fight skid. Just go out there guns blazing. He's not the best in the cardio department, I will say. He's inviting everyone to a local club after the fight. Next up, we got Jacoby Smith versus Court the fucking Crusher McGee. All right, we got Jacoby Smith, who's got to win. All right, he's got to. He's only a minus 540, which, I mean, if you look at some of the plus minuses that we've seen, that's not that compared to some. We've had a minus 1,000 on this card. Okay, and Jacoby Smith defeats Court McGee via decision. Kind of sad. I mean, you can't finish Court McGee. You can't finish the Unk. I mean, he's kind of a tough out. He's a tough cookie, but he gets a nice win on his resume. Court McGee, that's not a bad win. Or really, I mean, you go from Preston Parsons, whatever, Nico Price, that's okay. Court McGee, we're slowly working him. We don't want to rush him too much. We don't want to rush our prospects that we've got too much. So Jacoby Smith gets the victory. He praises Court McGee for a tough fight. He acts like a class. He is a class act interviewee. He carries himself like a superstar. Next up for the featured fight, I want to say Sergey Spivak versus the Walking Like, that is a fucking, like, dude, I'm sorry, man. That's just a rancid, terrible fucking nickname. Delija at a plus 510, which is insane. I don't know if the kid's on drugs who was making this roster, but he fucking loses. Sergey Spivak gets it done. I mean, when we had some fresh blood in the heavyweight division, he gets fucking smothered by Sergey Spivak. Okay. Co-main event, Dan 50K Ige versus Melkaziel. Holy shit. Melkaziel Costa. Dude, I turn on I start recording, I just cannot talk. My brain just goes fucking numb. Regardless, Dan Ige is the favorite. I think Costa wins in real life. I don't know. We'll see. And Dan 50K Ige submits Melkaziel Costa with the Americana round 1. He only had 29 more seconds. 29 more seconds in round 1. That's tough. Tough for Costa. Dan Ige, one of the ultimate gatekeepers of the featherweight division. Moving on, he answers he would want to face Yusuf Zalal next, potentially. I wouldn't mind slamming out Zalal to Dan Ige. All right, and for the main event, Sean Strickland versus Fluffy Hernandez. A banger of a fight. Winner presumably gets a title shot next after Hamzat versus Imavov. You know how it goes. The main events, we skip through it. This might be a long one. Strickland, he's not a known finisher. Fluffy is, but we shall see. Mario Yamasaki is the referee for this fight. Fluffy is the favorite at a minus 280, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I think he's the favorite in real life, too, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. I honestly have no fucking clue. But the way people are talking, I think people are like talking like Strickland is the underdog. So Strickland's getting what I've seen. People are underrating Strickland, or I wouldn't say underrating Strickland. They're not counting Strickland out. And I think a lot more people are picking Strickland. Okay, they start with a touch of gloves. Both fighters step into strike. Hernandez throws 3 quick punches and lands one of them. Hits a quick punch to the lead leg. Strickland scores with 1 punch. Doesn't really connect with the right hand to the body. Hernandez shoots in hard, fast for a takedown. This is what Hernandez's game plan is going to be if he's going to get the victory. Hernandez gets the takedown. Strickland pulls guard right away. Hernandez starts to pound on Strickland, but nothing really damaging. Hernandez starts trying to pass the guard. Strickland keeps his guard secure. Strickland very good on the ground. Very good at ground defense. Hernandez looks to get past the guard. He passes only into a half guard. Hernandez looks to pass half guard and get side control. So Fluffy just going crazy right now in the guard. Just passing, moving, side control, passing, moving. Hernandez is too skilled for Strickland. Passing half guard, gains side control. Hernandez pounds away, but doesn't really get anything significant. Round ends. Fluffy takes round 1, 10-9. Round 2, here we go. And that's what you got to do. Fluffy's a grinder, man. It's the ground and pound. He's looking for the TKO. He's looking to grind you out on the ground. He has Marab light. I mean, everyone wants to compare it to like a heavier weight class Marab. But it's a little different. He does have a lot higher pace. Hernandez is shooting in hard and fast for a takedown. He gets it, so this is a second takedown on Strickland. He fires off some more punches, but nothing really lands. Hernandez tries to pass the guard. Doesn't get past Strickland's guard. He attempts to pass the guard again, and Strickland prevents it. So, like I said, Strickland has good ground defense. Hernandez, looking for the ground and pound, just better pattering his way. Nothing really much. Hernandez is catching his breath. That's not a good sign. He's known as a cardio guy. Hernandez tries to get into the mount position. Strickland rolls to the side, escapes the mount, only succeeds in giving up his back. Hernandez unloads with several big right hands, landing several that clearly hurt Strickland. So he gets some good ground and pound. Round ends. That round certainly got the fans going. Hernandez up 10-9. Hernandez took rounds 1 and 2, I think, very clearly. Damage control. The takedowns. Round 3. Hernandez on the feet looking to strike. Strickland blasts his opponent with a 4-punch combination, ends with a shot to the body. Strickland's starting to look confident now. Shorten the range, the classic Strickland. Cutting him off, applying the pressure. Hernandez appears to going in and get close, but Strickland took the initiative. Strickland on the pressure now. An exchange of strikes. These both fighters failed to land anything significant. Nothing really happening. Hernandez goes in for another takedown, but cannot complete the takedown as Strickland stops him there. Strickland not going down. Hernandez settles for pushing him up against the cage, so Hernandez now has Strickland up against the cage. He shoots in for another takedown. He gets it. An outside leg trip that sees Strickland get thrown to the map, so an excellent takedown by Hernandez. That's his 3rd takedown of the fight. Each round is he has a takedown and then just controls him. Here we go. We got a submission attempt. Hernandez tries to put Strickland in a rear naked choke, but Strickland does a good job at negating the rear naked choke and defends it. Hernandez blocks Strickland as he tries to roll over, so Strickland trying to roll, scramble his way out of it. Strickland prevents Hernandez from applying a body triangle, so Fluffy trying to look for a submission here, look for anything to finish the fight early. Hernandez blocks an attempt to roll him off his back. Hernandez attempts to complete another rear naked choke as he has his back again, but Strickland does a nice job fighting off the rear naked choke again. He tries to roll, tries to scramble, nothing really happening here with 15 seconds left. Hernandez pounds away, landing several great strikes that rock Strickland. So he gets some crazy good ground and pound in the last second of the round. And the round ends. The referee has to step in, stop the round. So Strickland kind of struggled. That was probably his worst round. Got put into 2 submissions. He defended them well, but gets hit with some heavy ground and pound as the time expires. Hernandez still only 10-9 that round. He's up. Strickland is running out of rounds. Clearly, Hernandez is up 3 rounds. Strickland is going to have to finish Fluffy Hernandez, which is not really Strickland's forte. I mean, he can, but he's kind of a decision merchant. Like, low key. Hernandez goes for another takedown, gets it immediately with a minute into the round. Hernandez looks to pass guard. Strickland is up, tries to scramble. Strickland ends up having to pull guard, losing the scramble. In guard, Hernandez begins to work to pass the side control. So just Hernandez just working constantly on the ground. So this is the fight I want to see in real life. And obviously, if Fluffy wins this fight, you get Fluffy versus Khamzat. I think Fluffy, even Strickland, could give Khamzat some problems, but for different reasons. Hernandez tries to pass into the half guard. We got less than a minute left into the round. Fluffy really hasn't done much that round. He just controlled them, kind of blobbed them out. Yep, 10-9 Hernandez. I can't see Strickland winning on any of the judges' scorecards. He needs a finish. Will Strickland get a round 5 finish against Fluffy Hernandez? He scores with some punches. Hernandez is starting to slow down here. They step in to engage. Strickland gets his opponent to cover up with 3 quick punches and goes for the body with a hook. Hernandez scores with 1 punch out of a sudden flurry, but misses with a high kick. Strickland's moving in closer, looking to up and attack. This is what he needs. Strickland needs to put on the pressure. He needs to put on the gas. He cannot allow himself to get taken down. If he gets taken down, that is it. Fluffy wins. For the first time, Strickland is now starting to breathe a little bit heavier. Not looking good. Strickland tries to land a big right punch, but Fluffy does a good job evading it. Halfway through the round, Strickland looks to step in and unleash. Strickland comes in with a flurry of 3 quick punches, landing one of them, but he misses with a big right hook. Strickland can be heard talking trash as the two-fighter circle around the cage. I'm not sure what the fuck Strickland could possibly be saying as he's losing 4 rounds, potentially 5 rounds here. A quick exchange, and there's the takedown set up for Fluffy. He gets it. He gets the single leg takedown. Fluffy fires away a few punches, and we can quickly sim through this as nothing really happening. Round ends. They think Fluffy took that. Maybe Strickland took the last round. Here come it. The judges scorecard 50-45, 50-45, 49-46. And Fluffy Hernandez wins via unanimous decision. That is the exact game plan he needs to have in real life. But Fluffy does it. This is good. I mean, I like Strickland. I would like to see Strickland versus Khamzat in the future in our save, or just Strickland being a top contender. But Fluffy, that's new blood. A very interesting fight versus Khamzat. Someone I don't really think Khamzat could just steamroll. Maybe I'm like completely underselling Khamzat. Like, I know he's a different animal, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Against Fluffy, it was rated as good. Okay, nothing too crazy. Fluffy had his best round, probably round 3. Just absolutely demolished Strickland though. Hernandez, Ige, Spivak, Jacoby Smith, Pereira gets a crazy knockout in a minute. Baki. Overall, it was a decent fight card. I think Bautista versus Oliveira was better, but we get Hernandez with the victory. Here are the prelims, if you guys forgot about those. We had, holy shit, I didn't realize how many finishes we had in the prelims. A TKO, submission, TKO, and then the main card hit, and it's kind of boring. I mean, you had a submission, TKO, and a submission. Maybe I'm underrating it, but it just didn't seem that eventful. Maybe it was because there wasn't that many big of names. But regardless, if you made it to this point of the video, if you have any suggestions, any fights you want to see, just anything about the series in general, let me know. Like I said, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you. I appreciate you. Love you. Bye.